Hey, Sarah. So everybody, welcome. We're sitting here today we're talking with Sarah Grebenick from Guaranteed Rate Affinity, which is one of Coldwell Banker's partners, mortgage lending partners. And Sarah is um, a loan originator, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. So, and I was hoping that, Sarah, you could share with us some information to help with, first time home buyers and maybe people who haven't been in buying homes in a while, just to get some information out there so everybody feels more confident in this crazy sellers market that we're in right now.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the first thing that I kind of just I wanted to address is I think that there's a lot of um, confusion as to when they actually get to they when they actually start talking to a mortgage lender. So could you talk to that for a minute? Do they talk? Can they talk 6 months ahead, to one month ahead, a couple weeks ahead? Could you talk
Yeah,
about to that?
yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, one of my models is it's never too early to talk to a mortgage lender.
Yeah.
And it's better to do it earlier than later, right? So, we want to make sure we do it whenever you're even starting to think about, hey, talking about my partner and I or myself, we're talking about buying a house in the future. We're not really sure what to do or what we need or anything like that. When you start to have that question, that discussion, just reach out to a mortgage lender and start that conversation right away. It's never too early.
And I love that. I think it's so important, and I think that's something that is a misunderstanding because so give a quick rundown. If someone's 6 months out and they're thinking, oh, maybe summertime, I might be looking to her house. What can they do? Like, might come up now for them that they could do and make them a stronger buyer candidate?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a couple of really big main points that I always hit on with buyers. We want to talk about credit, we want to talk about income, and we want to talk about assets and savings that you have for a down payment. So those are kind of the three big things that you want to think about and plan for. And if you do those early enough, then you can put yourself in a much better position in 6 months, 3 months, a year, whatever that looks like for you to be able to buy a house much more confidently.
Yeah, awesome. And isn't there some particular things that we might think are good to do to take care of our credit? And, it isn't that helpful?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, there are a lot of myths around credit specifically. I mean, people will come to me with student loans or think that they can't get a mortgage because they have student loans, which is not true at all. They think they have to pay off a car or pay off a credit card or something just to get a loan. And those things aren't true. I mean, they may be true for some people, but I always advise people before you start making moves with paying off debts or making moves with credit that you do talk to a mortgage lender, find out what's going to be most impactful for you so that you use your money in the best way possible.
Yeah, I love that because I too was making assumptions that were completely wrong with
Yeah.
regard to that. So
A
that so
lot of
that
people do.
yeah, so that's good. So with regards to myths, so what would some other myths be that you would like to clear up for buyers?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think another big one, besides the credit part and like I have to have all my credit paid off, another big one is down payment, right? People think that they need a large down payment. They think they need 20% at least, but that's not true. We have programs as low as 3% down. There are always down payment assistance programs as well. Some of them only offer like a minimum $1,000 from a buyer. So again, it depends on what's available for that specific buyer in their situation, but just talking to a lender about what your options are. Coming to them, I have X amount saved, or I'm comfortable with this amount. And then your lender can really work with you to let you know what's possible.
Oh, that's awesome. I think that's a real
Yeah.
important one. Um, and isn't there programs that actually help first-time homebuyers?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a lot of good down payment assistance programs available. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have certain loan programs that are really great and kind of geared towards first-time home buyers. So yeah, there are a lot of really great options and opportunities and education out there for first-time home buyers.
Great, thank you. So let's just talk about the pre-approval process. So someone's interested in buying a house. They come talk to you. We're encouraging buyers to have a pre-approval before they put in an offer because that makes them a serious candidate that a seller's gonna take seriously. So talk about what that process looks like and what do they need to do and how much does it cost and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I think the first thing is just talking to your mortgage lender and kind of going through those three things, the three main areas that we talked about earlier: credit, income, and assets. So just having that initial conversation. And as long as you feel like you're in a good place after that, most loan officers have their own websites. So that's kind of the next step. Go to that loan officer's website, enter in your information, it pulls a credit report for you, and then that loan officer can really get your data from your credit report, your income, and your assets to create a pre-approval letter for you. And it's really great when you have that because the lender can talk to about more specific things with, your credit or paying things off, or, if a larger down payment would get you to this purchase price. So that pre-approval can really set you up that way. One other important thing, when you have a good lender partner and you go through that pre-approval process, right? You've got your credit report, they have all your bank statements and your pay stubs, they know what you're approved for. Then it's really good for them to work with your real estate agent and have a good partnership with them so that your lender and your real estate agent are on the same page with what you qualify for as a buyer, and we're showing you the right properties that are going to work for you and your budget.
Yes, great. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. So, before we close, is there any other bits of information that you think would be helpful to share?
Sure. So I forgot to mention that that part is all free. So
Yes,
that's the good
that's
part,
the
right?
best part.
So that's the good part. So it's all free. So really, the biggest takeaway I think is don't be scared of the process, right? Myself, Lisa, we deal in real estate and mortgages every single day, but most people don't talk about it or do it every day, right? So I always let my clients know, just don't hesitate to ask us any questions. We're here to be your resource. We do this every day. Ask us the questions. We want to make sure that you feel comfortable with the process that you're doing, and buying a house. So just don't be scared. Talk to us at any point. Make sure you get your questions answered and really do that before you start making any big moves.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other point that I'd like to make is, people are always so nervous about, getting locked into a commitment or, that they have to do this or and that's not the case at all. When you just to talk to a mortgage lender just for informational purposes, to see where you are, what you qualify for, it's not obligating you into anything. Right. So it's just really good education, information gathering for your own purposes. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's always great to have more information. Again, if you use it in 3 months, 6 months, or 2 years, whatever that is, it's great to know what more know about the process.
right, getting your game plan together.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much. I appreciate your time today.
Yeah,
And
my
um,
pleasure.
and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon. And I'm going to put your contact info in the comments below. And so if anyone has wants to reach out to you directly, or if we get any more topics of interest, we'll get back together and talk about those.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too.